It's a long-standing contention in politics that the politicians are not in touch with the people. And when someone runs for office, very often they'll say that the politician that they're running against is someone who is more in touch with the donors than they are with the average person in their constituency that is struggling and just trying to make ends meet. In our Parshas Behar, the Torah tells us about the mitzvah of Shemitah. Hashem says that every seventh year, when the Jewish people reside in the land of Israel, is to be a year in which the land lies fallow. And so we might ask ourselves, if the land lies fallow, which means no one can make money off of any of the produce of the land, and it just has to be left alone, how then are people going to support themselves in an agricultural society? And so Hashem says, "V'chisomru manochal." If you ask yourself, what are you going to eat during the year of Shemitah? Hashem says, "V'tzivisias birchasi lachem b'shana hashishis." I will give you bracha, I will give you blessing, I'll give you an abundance, Hashem says, during the 6th year. And so the Tzror Hamor explains as follows and says that even out of an agricultural society, the lesson can be applied. How so? A wealthy person back in that society who has fields, who has vineyards, who has all kinds of property, and he doesn't really know of the difficulty, the struggle of the average man or of the individual that is poor, that is struggling. So his heart seems to be elsewhere. But what Hashem says, that's why there is the year of Shemitah. And during that year of Shemitah, even that individual who has so much will end up feeling the pinch per se. He'll ask himself, what will we eat? And it will serve as a reminder for him during the good times, during the good years, to always have rachmanos, to always have mercy, to be touched by the plight of the individual who is more needy than the farmer or the person who owns all of the property. As he says, Yishtatef bitzaro uviyagono, that one should be able to be mishtatef, to connect with the difficulty, with the struggle of the person who can't make ends meet, v'yavin l'rucho hanecha, and should be able to therefore understand the individual's plight, and in that merit, then vitzivisi es birchasi, Hashem says, in that merit, for the individual who has all the property and seems to have everything, if they are able to connect with the average folk, if they're able to connect with a person, the average person's struggle, then ultimately that person who has so much will be blessed with even more bracha by Hashem. And so, even though Shemitah nowadays practically for many of us doesn't really faze us, aside for those of us in Israel who actually have to make sure that we eat the right fruits or vegetables, but since we don't live in an agricultural society, and those farmers who keep Shemitah are being supported by others, the way that Shemitah really hits us is by recognizing and realizing that there are people among us who struggle, and those of us who are able to connect and support their plight, we're able to hopefully not only help them, but merit Hashem continuing to bless us with the abundance that we have. Thank you for listening, and have a good Shabbos.